Born on January 10, 1945, in Highgate, London, he was the youngest of 5 children in a working-class Anglo-Scottish family. His father, Robert, originally from Leith in Scotland, had once been a master builder, but by the time of Rod's birth, he was running a small newsagent shop. His mother, Elsie, was English and devoted her life to raising the children and keeping the family together. The Stewarts lived above the shop at 507 Archway Road in cramped rooms that were often filled with the sound of customers coming and going below. Despite the bustle of the shop, life in the flat was modest and often quiet. As the youngest child, born 8 years after his nearest sibling, Rod grew up almost like an only child, surrounded by older brothers and sisters who were already preparing for adult life when he was still small. School was not easy for him. At age 11, he failed the 11+ exam, which in post-war Britain meant being excluded from grammar school and directed instead toward a secondary modern, a path seen as limiting opportunities for higher education and professional careers. He attended William Grimshaw Secondary Modern School, where he was marked early on as ordinary, with few prospects. For a boy eager to prove himself, this was a hard blow. Yet on the football pitch, he found his confidence. He played with energy and determination, captained his school team, and earned a place representing Middlesex schoolboys. His father, who had played semi-professional football and later coached, supported him at every match and encouraged him to believe the game could offer a future. By the early 1960s, Rod dreamed of a professional football career, even imagining himself one day wearing the Arsenal kit. In 1961, he earned a trial with Brentford Football Club. At just 16 years old, he walked into the trial with his boots laced and full of hope. The outcome was devastating. Brentford did not offer him a place. For Rod, this was not just rejection, it was the collapse of his first great dream. He would later say that football was his first love, and losing it was one of the deepest wounds of his youth. After the rejection, he drifted through a series of odd jobs. He tried work as a screen printer, did some delivery work, and eventually found himself employed at Highgate Cemetery as a grave digger. Lowering coffins into the ground and handling the spade gave him his first close encounter with mortality. He would later admit that it left a lasting impression on him, shaping the way he saw life and time. 2 passions gave him solace during those years. One was model railways, which became a lifelong hobby. Building small rail systems with intricate detail gave him a sense of control and creativity that real life often denied him. The other was music. In his mid-teens, his father bought him a cheap guitar. Though he struggled to master it at first, he became drawn to folk and skiffle tunes, fascinated by how music could carry emotion and give shape to loneliness. By the late 1950s and early 1960s, he had begun busking around London, particularly in Leicester Square, with his harmonica and guitar. Coins tossed into his cap were his proof of existence, his survival. His sharp dress and distinctive hairstyle earned him the nickname Rod the Mod. His early musical career began in 1963 when he joined The Dimensions, a small rhythm and blues group. The band played smoky pubs for little pay, but gave him his first stage experience. Later, he worked with Long John Baldry's Hoochie Coochie Men, gaining more exposure in the growing blues and R&B scene. In 1967, he joined the Jeff Beck Group as lead vocalist. The group toured extensively and gained critical praise, especially for Jeff Beck's guitar playing. Rod's voice was noted as powerful and unique, but in the shadow of Beck's virtuosity, he often felt overlooked. By 1969, he left the group determined to make his own name. That same year, he released his debut solo album, An Old Raincoat Won't Ever Let You Down. It received modest attention, but gave him the first taste of recognition under his own name. 2 years later, in 1971, he released Every Picture Tells a Story. The album contained Maggie May, a song that became a global phenomenon, reaching #1 on both the UK and US charts. Practically overnight, Rod Stewart was transformed from a struggling musician into an international star. His distinctive raspy voice, mixing rock, folk, and soul influences, became instantly recognizable. During this period, he was also a member of Faces, alongside Ronnie Wood. The band became famous for their live performances, full of energy, humor, and chaos, but tensions within the group grew as Rod's solo career pulled him into the spotlight. By the mid-1970s, Faces dissolved. As a solo artist, he reached new heights. The late 1970s and 1980s brought hits like Tonight's the Night, You're in My Heart, and Da Ya Think I'm Sexy? His flamboyant clothing, blonde hair, and champagne lifestyle became part of his public persona. He filled stadiums around the world and sold millions of records. He is one of very few artists to achieve #1 singles in every decade across 6 consecutive decades. Behind the success were complicated family relationships. At just 18, in 1963, he became the father of a daughter, Sarah Streeter. With no money, no career, and no home, he agreed that she would be adopted. The decision haunted him for decades. He admitted later that it broke his heart, though at the time he felt he had no choice. Sarah grew up with her adoptive parents and only reconnected with him in 2007 after both adoptive parents had passed away. Their reunion was emotional, but also painful, a reminder of the lost years. In 1979, he married actress Alana Hamilton. They had 2 children, Kimberly and Sean. The marriage lasted 5 years before ending in divorce in 1984. Afterward, he began a relationship with model Kelly Emberg, with whom he had a daughter, Ruby, born in 1987. That relationship ended in 1989. In 1990, he married New Zealand supermodel Rachel Hunter. Together they had 2 children, Renee in 1992 and Liam in 1994. In 1999, Rachel left him, a separation that devastated him emotionally. They finalized their divorce in 2006. In the early 2000s, he met model and photographer Penny Lancaster. They married in 2007 and had 2 sons together, Alistair in 2005 and Aiden in 2011. In total, Rod Stewart is the father of 8 children. His health presented serious challenges. In 2000, he was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Surgery to remove the tumor left him temporarily unable to sing, and he had to retrain his voice from scratch. He eventually recovered, but his voice was changed, becoming even more gravelly and distinctive. In 2016, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. He kept it private until 2019, when he revealed he had been successfully treated and used the announcement to encourage men to get tested. Over the years, he has also undergone surgeries on his knees and ankles, the result of decades of performing on stage. Despite these struggles, he continued to tour well into his late 70s. In recent years, he shifted toward jazz and swing-inspired projects, showing his versatility as a performer. In 2023, he sold his music catalog for an estimated $100 million. His overall net worth is estimated at around $300 million. He was knighted in 2016 in recognition of his contributions to music and charity. With more than 250 million records sold worldwide, he is recognized as one of the best-selling artists in history. Today he lives between Beverly Hills and Essex with Penny Lancaster. He is active as a father and grandfather, with a large extended family. Though he has scaled back on large arena tours, he still performs selective concerts and continues recording. His later years reflect a balance between family life and his enduring presence in music.